What if I told you there's a food, just a handful, that could seriously lower your blood sugar and even slash your risk of a heart attack by almost half? Sounds a little too good to be true, doesn't it? Well, the crazy part is, for decades, people with diabetes were actually told to avoid this very food. Today, we're going to crack that myth wide open.
For the longest time, the advice was pretty straightforward. Nuts are loaded with fat and calories, so if you have diabetes, you should probably stay away.
Well, let me tell you, that advice is completely 100% outdated. The science has finally caught up, and the verdict is in.
Yeah, you heard that right, a superfood. And it's not just them saying it. The latest research from some of the best institutions out there is backing this up big time. So today, we're counting down the top 3 nuts that endocrinologists are recommending, all ranked by solid scientific proof. And we're going to start with one that honestly surprised even the researchers.
Kicking things off at number 3, we have pistachios. Now, there was this groundbreaking study back in 2014, published in a major journal called Diabetes Care, that put these little green nuts to the test. And honestly, the results were just extraordinary.
So what's the big deal with this 23%? Well, it's huge. It's the percentage of people in that study with prediabetes who, just by eating 2 ounces of pistachios every day for 4 months, completely reversed their condition. We're talking back to normal glucose levels. Incredible.
And just look at this table. The difference is night and day. The control group, nothing, no improvement. But the pistachio group, they saw results that could literally change their lives. That 28-point drop in fasting blood sugar isn't just a number. That's a transformation, all powered by a handful of nuts.
This got researchers at the University of Toronto so intrigued that they came up with a name for it, the pistachio principle. What they found was that when people ate pistachios before a high-carb meal, their blood sugar spike was cut by up to 25%. It's like the nuts create this protective buffer that keeps your glucose stable for hours. But wait, it gets even better. The benefits go way deeper. Pistachios have these unique antioxidants that actually protect the cells in your pancreas that make insulin. One study even showed they cut pancreatic inflammation by 34%. And another massive study found that eating pistachios just twice a week was linked to a staggering 47% lower risk of a heart attack or stroke for people with diabetes.
Okay, so how do you actually put this into practice? The sweet spot seems to be about 1 to 2 ounces a day. And the cool thing about pistachios is that the shells kind of force you to slow down, which is great for portion control. Just be careful not to go overboard. More than 3 ounces can pack on almost 500 calories and might cause some digestive upset. And of course, if you have any kidney issues, you want to chat with your doctor about the potassium. So if pistachios are the pancreas protectors, what about your brain and your kidneys? Well, that brings us to number 2 on our list, a nut that's famous for protecting those 2 vital organs.
All right, coming in at number 2. Walnuts. I mean, you can't deny it. They literally look like little brains, right? Well, that's not just a coincidence. They are absolutely loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, which are fantastic for fighting the kind of chronic inflammation that's so tied to diabetes. They're not just preventing damage, they're actively helping to repair it.
And get this number, 47%. A massive study, we're talking over 34,000 adults with diabetes, found that eating walnuts just 5 times a week cut their risk of dying from heart disease by 47%. That's almost cutting the risk in half. Just incredible.
So what's their secret weapon? It's all about those omega-3s. Walnuts have the highest concentration of plant-based omega-3s of any nut out there. A single ounce gives you 2.5 grams of something called ALA, which is an essential fatty acid that your body needs to fight the inflammation that can cause so many diabetic complications.
And this protection, it's not just for one thing. We're talking about a full body shield here. Research from UCLA found walnuts can make the little power plants in your cells, your mitochondria, work 28% better. Another trial showed they reduced signs of early kidney damage by 19%. And for your brain, eating them regularly was linked to a 31% slower rate of cognitive decline in seniors with diabetes.
So for walnuts, what's the magic number? You're looking at about 1 to 1.5 ounces a day. That's enough to get all those fantastic omega-3 benefits without going crazy on the calories. But just like with any good thing, too much can cause some issues, like digestive trouble. And a heads up, if you've ever had kidney stones, you'll probably want to stick to just a 1-ounce serving because they do contain oxalates. Okay, we've had the pancreas protector and the brain food, but now it's time for the undisputed champion. There is one nut that stands head and shoulders above the rest when you look at the sheer amount of research and the consistently powerful results.
And here it is.
The #1 nut for diabetics, based on overwhelming scientific consensus, is the almond. Seriously, more than any other nut, almonds have been put under the microscope time and time again, and the results are always remarkable.
And you don't have to take my word for it. Just look at these results from a huge, year-long study. The group eating almonds saw their average A1C drop from 7.9 all the way down to 6.4. They actually moved from the diabetic range into the pre-diabetic range. And the control group? They barely budged. This is powerful stuff.
So how do they do it? Well, one of the coolest reasons is something called the second meal effect. It's fascinating. When people ate almonds with their breakfast, not only was their blood sugar better after that meal, but their body's response to lunch was 30% better, even if they didn't eat any almonds with lunch. It's like they prime your metabolism for the whole day.
Really, what makes almonds the king is their triple threat. It's this incredible 1, 2, 3 punch. First, they are packed with magnesium, which is absolutely critical for your insulin to work properly. Second, they're full of vitamin E, a rockstar antioxidant that fights cell damage. And third, this is really cool, your body doesn't actually absorb all the calories from them, so they're a lot more weight-friendly than you might think.
Okay, that was a ton of science, right? But information is only useful if you actually do something with it. So let's turn all this knowledge into a real, concrete plan you can start today.
All right, here is the ultimate cheat sheet. Everything we've talked about, all in one place. So whether your main goal is to get that A1C down, protect your brain, or give your pancreas some support, there's a perfect nut for you right here. This is a great way to figure out where you want to start based on your own health goals.
So now I've got a challenge for you. It's super simple. Just pick one of these nuts, commit to eating the right amount every single day for the next 30 days, and track your numbers, see what happens. The science is pretty clear that you're likely to see a real difference. Now, just remember, this is a fantastic tool to add to your health toolbox, but it's not a replacement for your doctor's advice and your overall medical plan.
Look, the evidence is all here. The plan couldn't be simpler. The only question left is the one you see on the screen. You have so much more control over your health than you might think, and it can start with something as easy as a handful of the right nuts.